Hey people, welcome back to the channel. So in our today's conversation is about this black man who has a question for modern women. And one person stitched his video. So I'll let the video as well as the stitch play, then I'll leave my own comment. Please don't go away and kindly share your own experience and thoughts. So let's get real, let's get honest, and let's get into it.
Doesn't it bother you that our mothers are still in marriage, but many of their daughters are divorced? It goes to show that as far as marriage is concerned, there is something fundamental we are missing in our generation. Doesn't it bother you that our mothers are still in marriage, but many of their daughters are divorced? It goes to show that as far as marriage is concerned, there is something fundamental we are missing in our generation.
It's because you don't understand that women in that generation, we witnessed our mothers suffering. You didn't because you were too busy outside playing and enjoying yourself, whilst we were in the house witnessing bad things in this so-called perfect marriage in your eyes. We heard our mother complain about our father. We heard our mother complain about how many times our father cheated. We heard about how many times our fathers impregnated another women outside of the marriage. We heard everything. We heard our aunt got HIV by our uncle. I have one of my auntie. She's now passed away. Her husband gave her HIV. He went to work in a foreign country, and then when he came back, the gift he asked for her was HIV. You African boy, African man, you still have a sugary version of your marriage, of the father and your mother. Whilst us, we know the reality of it. Most of the time, our mother were the one who suffered. They suffered the most. So when we say for the better and the worse is only for the women. Because you grew up witnessing this, because most of the time, boys, you know what's going on. You know that the father is not the best father. But because your mother stayed, you grew up believing that my wife also has to stay. Even though your father mistreated your mother, you still want your wife to accept everything you are doing to her, even if it's wrong, because this is how you have been raised. Most of African men, you have heard that wife must accept everything. But what is happening now is this girl like me, who grew up hearing this type of story from my mom, from my auntie, from the elders. When is our time to get married? We absolutely don't want to go through the same cycle. This is why you are disturbed, because you are facing women who are choosing themselves over their husband. And this is why they are getting divorced. Because when you are still stuck in the ideal marriage of your mom and dad, we know what it is. We know how sour are these marriage. We know that this type of marriage come with a cost. And the only person who has to pay for the cost is the women. So no, life is too short. Life is too short for me to be with a man who is not willing to treat me the same way I treat him. Life is too short for anyone, to accept the bare minimum. I refuse to be a good wife to a bad husband. I refuse to give the best of me to a man who will only give the worst of him. This is why you are surprised, because this women generation no longer want this. We are healing and we are breaking the curse of toxic marriages. And you are stuck in the past. The only thing you want is to repeat the same trauma over and over again. Because whether you want it or not, this marriage affect the children. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because most of the time, men are selfish. You only think about your own well-being. You don't care about the wife. You don't care about how your children will be affected in the future. Stop. Enough. We are out.
Well, it's true that many women from previous generation, like our mothers, have had a long-lasting marriages, while many young women like our daughters have experienced divorce. One of the key contributing factors to this trend is the shifting landscape of gender roles and expectation. Our mothers were often socialized to prioritize family and relationship above personal aspiration. In contrast, their daughters have been encouraged to pursue careers, financial stability, and personal fulfillment. While these advancements are significant, they also create new pressure and stressors that can strain relationships. The increased focus on individual happiness and personal growth has led to evaluation of what constitutes a successful marriage. Our mothers may have more likely to peer through challenges, whereas our daughters are more likely to prioritize their own emotional well-being and seek fulfillment outside marriage. To add more, the increase of social media has created unrealistic expectations and a culture of comparison, which can elude relationship satisfaction. The increased divorce among our daughters may also be attributed to increase of financial independence, which reduces the economic imperative to stay in an unhappy marriage. It's important to recognize that relationships are shaped by a complex interplay of factors, including personal values, communication styles, and societal norms. Rather than judging or lamenting this trend, we should strive to understand the underlying dynamics and work towards fostering stronger and more resilient relationships. By engaging in open conversation, promoting emotional intelligence, and supporting one another, we can create a culture that values relationships built on mutual respect, trust, and personal growth. In doing so, we can learn from our mothers enduring marriage while also forging our own path toward happy, healthy relationships that prioritize individual fulfillment and mutual support. Thank you guys for being part of this conversation. Hope you haven't forgotten to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. See you in the next video and stay safe.